What is going on, guys? It's Burgas here and welcome to another Call of Dragons video. Today the topic is going to be very interesting because I'm going to talk about the heroes. And I'm going to go in deep over the heroes. I'm not going to, talk for specific heroes. If you have some question about specific hero, I have a lot of guides, especially with the latest new heroes in Call of Dragons. You can go and check it out on my channel. But here is going to be more like how people are misjudging the new hero or the heroes in general. How you decide if one hero is weak one or if one hero is the new meta in Call of Dragons. This is going to be the topic in this video. It's going to be interesting because I actually make a lot of analysis over this, because to be fair, people are asking me, yo Burgas, what do you think about this hero or that hero or that hero? And I want to combine all these things in one answer that I'm going to present in this video, and even more, because the people have to know how to evaluate one hero at the end of the day. Mostly I'm going to make a reference to the mages. The reason behind is going to be that just the majority of the players are playing mages. And if I say Lilia, if I say Velen, if I say Bertrand, if I say Thunderlane, people are more familiar with, for example, I don't know, Theodore or maybe Tobin. I mean, this is a heroes that are not many people come with some vision or some idea about this hero. Especially I didn't, and that much, but when I focus over the cavalry, I get good idea about these heroes. But at the end of the day, as a mage main, I just didn't care that much about the rest of the heroes. So why you're judging heroes the wrong way? And I'm going to start with the question, is this hero good or bad? I mean, this is the question I get a lot, and this is actually a wrong question. It's not like, obviously the first thing that coming to my mind of one player is actually asking, is this hero good or bad? But in Call of Dragons, a hero depends on the context. A hero depends on the context. Pairing change the hero. Pets change the hero. Artifact change the hero, season change the hero, positioning change the hero, and if you ignore the context, you're basically wasting your resources. So let's start one by one. Pairing of the hero. There is a clearly huge difference in the late game playing between Lilia Velen and Lilia Thea. I mean, Lilia Thea is performing better from Lilia Velen. I mean, I have a video on my channel. Maybe it's going to be one of these videos that are coming on my channel right now. So if you enjoy this type of things, don't forget to subscribe. So you have Lilia Velen and you have Lilia Thea. Obviously the pairing is going to give different results. And again, Lilia Thea is going to give you better results, even though that with Velen, Lilia is going to get more hero skill damage. Actually, it's actually it's going to be the same hero skill damage, because Thea, after she casts her spell, is giving 15% hero skill damage. But here we're having hero critical rate bonus, we have magic defense bonus, we have the defense penetration, and march speed bonus, and blah blah blah, and AoE. Velen is doing AoE damage. At the end of the day, it's a very solid hero, but with Lilia in the late game, the context here is you need more survivability with your Lilia from this to do more damage. In the early stages, it may actually work, but the late game is not working that well. So you see some pairing changes, how the pairing change the output of the hero, of specific hero. From there, pets change the hero. Well, to be fair, I'm not so happy with Sapphire Farjurak. Now, I was thinking this is maybe one of the best pets in Call of Dragons, and I get question also. I mean, I'm going to cover so much questions that I receive in my comments under my videos in this video. So yeah, if you ever send me a question, most likely it's going to be covered in this video. Also, if you have any kind of question, just let me know in the comments below. If you want to ask something, it can be specifically for your case or some generic stuff, it's your call. But yeah, Sapphire Farjurak against Sand Lizard, that was the latest question I get. Well, to be fair, I prefer Sand Lizard, and there is a reason behind. Now, this is a I cannot say well built, but it's a solid one. It don't have the critical rate and critical damage, and this is the two boxes here. I'm still collecting some pet coins to buy these spells, but it's like hitting 3 legions, doing pretty nice AoE. This spell is actually adding 2 extra legion at the end of the day. If your spirit is over 310, because it's like 155 points. So, with couple words, this pet needs to execute his rage skill. This is a rage skill. On the other side, you're having Sand Lizard that is having a passive skill. This is going to get triggered. The rage skill may get triggered after, let's say, 10 seconds, because the pet is firing up after all of your heroes. So the cycle is your commander, your deputy, and after this is the pet. And again, commander, deputy, pet. This is something that I notice when I'm fighting. So with Sapphire Farjurak, if you don't have this pet on steroids, which is it costs a lot. You're not going to perform very nice with this pet. On the other side, if you have Sand Lizard, that the spells of the Sand Lizard don't cost that much. Obviously, for all of the pets, no exception, you're going to farm the main spell. I mean, the talent skill of the pet. You just have to do the farming there. There is no shortcuts. But the rest of the spells are cheaper for Sand Lizard. So you can make a monster Sand Lizard very cheap. And on top of that, Sand Lizard is giving you value, even though that this pet may not be fully built, let's say it like this. So you see that even though that this pet is maybe the best pet for Lillian from first look, because each time you inflict Scorch, something that Lillian do, Play Boom deals more damage next time it get casted. Damage bonus can go up to 40%. But this is very long fight that you have to do till you get this extra up to 40% more damage. It's very nice. But yeah, I don't want to go that much in deep of this pet or that pet, but a pet can definitely change the hero performance and legion performance on the battlefield. It can increase the survivability of the heroes, it can boost the legion. The pet, and the right way to do your pet is actually focusing your pet skill for your pet, getting, for example, pet critical rate, critical damage, and etc. from these generic spells that is boosting the legion. Like, for example, this one, critical rate like 4% when legion deals physical counter-attack damage. This is something that I catch the pet with this 3-star spell, and I just decide to leave it there. Maybe I'm going to change it in the future and put critical damage and more critical rate. I think this is going to be the better approach at the end of the day. But still, I'm collecting my coins for something else. But my point is, yeah, the pet can make or break your hero. Now, the other thing is season changes. Here, mostly we're talking about seasons where, for example, the marksman get boosted with long range warfare. I don't think this thing actually exists in the game anymore. I have not seen it from a very long time, but some seasonal changes can also influence of your hero performance. You have to keep this thing in mind when you're making your final decision for a specific hero. And the other thing is positioning change also the heroes. Now, if you're fighting somewhere that, I don't know, maybe choke point or whatever is the case, different position in the combat, in the fight, is going to give you different output. So try to find the best fitting positioning for your march. I can say for me what is going to be the best positioning, and for me the best positioning is if my castle is the mage bow, my positioning is little on left or little on right. Like this, I don't eat the AoE damage from artifacts and other mages, and in same time I'm not far away, so some cavalry to actually strike me and kill me. So this is my golden middle for my legions, but everybody can find their right positioning, and this is also influence the performance of the hero, your positioning. So if you ignore the context, you're just going to waste your resources, and you may bench a good hero or invest in the wrong setup. Very important. I think at this time of Call of Dragons, there is so much information going on, and a lot of guides, tips and tricks. I mean, if you're looking for some information, who is the best heroes or which heroes are the meta heroes, you're definitely going to have a lot of materials that is going to cover these questions for you. So you're at least going to know the heroes, but when you go in Season of Starfire, when you're going to receive the new heroes like everybody else that are late game, you have to just know how to evaluate the hero. And as I mentioned, hero value depends on the context. Most players may judge heroes alone. They look the damage number, they look the one battle report, they look one tier list. But here is the problem. A hero doesn't not fight alone. And that's why for me, I'm going to right now give you one very nice tip for testing. Is test against, for example, you want to test your mages. And you see here we have riders, Darkling Patrols, level 37. Tested against level 27 against, again, riders or infantry. Why I'm saying that is just because you're going to fight in exactly same conditions from this to actually try to make some test against other heroes. For example, let's say I want with J to make some test over one hero. I mean, there is what pates J are having, what artifacts J are having, what tier is the troop of the J, how awakening is the heroes of the J, the city skin of the J, the decoration level, so much things. That's why I don't believe in this type of testing where you basically test some hero against other heroes, because this is not a constant condition for what you're going to receive on the battlefield. But in the same time, going for the Darkling Patrols is going to be always the same. And if you want to compare 2-3 legions or setups, you can definitely do it against Darkling Patrols, and your test is going to be more accurate there. So from there you can actually look the numbers and the reports and blah blah blah. But you're going to receive with the same heroes different results. Same skills, different survivability, same investments, different merit gain. So better decision, compare systems, not the heroes. Now, I already mentioned at the beginning of this video that the pairing can actually make or break a hero, because when you pair two heroes, each of these heroes are like 50%, or let's say one of the hero is 55%, the other hero is 45%. The 55% hero is the one with the Talon skill. This is the only thing that separates commander from the deputy. So if you ignore the second hero, you're most likely ignoring the 55% or 45%, which is a huge mistake. So yeah, if you're pairing, let's say Lilia too aggressively, she's going to die. She's going to die because right now the infantry in Cow of Dragons are doing so much counterattack damage. And not only that, they start doing some damage not only by counterattack. That's why majority of the players suggest that the Venom Lizard is maybe the best pet for infantry. I disagree on that because yeah, it's a very far the attack range, but you don't need to be very far with your infantry. I mean, imagine if you do 3 times more damage if you manage to blink around the mages from this to have a Venom Lizard and do the same blink or strike from the distance. By doing this with Venom Lizard, yeah, you're going to counter more legions, but poison deals damage every seconds, cannot be triggered once every 1 second. And if you look some other pets, maybe this one is not the right one. So far the pets that actually catch my eyes was even this one deals damage to the blah 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 for the next 10 seconds. There is no restriction. After successful parry, blah, blah, blah. There is no restriction on the first one, and especially with Mosrock Outrage, this one can trigger up to 5 times per second. So you have Venom Lizard that can trigger 1 time per second, and you have Mosrock Outrage that can trigger to 5 times per second. But this one is a melee attack range, the other one is very far. So you can see that this pet is going to do 5 times more damage. And the other one is passive, but I don't want to go that much in deep with the pets, because here we're mostly speaking about the heroes. But yeah, infantry right now is maybe one of the best troop in Cow of Dragons, especially for accounts like mine, because I have like 157 million power. Oh brother, I can non-stop send infantry. That's why I have like over 2 million infantry, and like I make 7-8 million just from my infantry. So yeah, definitely reducing the survivability of your heroes by doing some crazy aggressive pairing is going to result of your legion just get killed. It's just not going to give enough survivability, and this is inefficient in the late game fightings. In the late game, you're going to face the best pets, the best heroes, the best everything. And yeah, it's not actually blaming the hero, but having heroes like Kuma, Goresh, Kogo, and Joran can delete bad mage positioning, just like that. I'm speaking about the troops, not only for the heroes, because yeah, mostly I'm talking about the infantry, but right now the biggest problem the mages are having are infantry. It's not cavalry, it's not marksmen, it's not the other mages, because through the time we actually learned how to fight against other mages. It's not the mages the issue right now. For the mages, it's actually the infantry. That's why I'm giving some examples where with 2 double DPSs you basically lose a lot like this. The other thing is the damage output is just not the only metric. Most players judge by burst damage. They're just looking for fast killing and they want being instant reports. And this is something that I really like about the infantry is when I send them, they survive like 2 minutes, maybe even less, and I immediately receive a report. Right now I don't have that many reports, to be fair. Maybe if I look one of my farms, but I don't think this report is still valid one. But yeah. Here I have some reports. This is the Kuma. This is basically some reports. That is a casual report, as you can see, is between 30 and 50k. Sometimes I get 64k, sometimes I get 24k. But yeah, the majority of the reports are looking like this, and it's like 1.5 for me. What I get in my hospital and what the enemy is getting in the hospital. What I mean by that is if I get like 30k in the hospital, the enemy is getting 40 or maybe 50k in the hospital. And obviously I actually built my heroes to be that strong. I mean, I have Venom Lizard, not that bad build, to be fair. Still like 2 spells can be removed from there. Spirit Bond Torx, level 5. The taunt duration is like 5 seconds. The counter attack is like 20%. I mean, I already have some good, strong counter attack infantry that is basically farming mages on the battlefield. And this is something that you're going to understand, that the burst is for specific heroes and specific troops. You can get burst with cavalry, you can get burst with infantry, you cannot get burst with mages, and it's 50-50 with the marksmen because they actually have pretty decent attack, the best attack in the game. But I can also say that the marksmen are more like in mages direction at the end of the day. I already said that the pet can change the whole build of the hero. The season changed the hero value, and here we're going to talk about the decorations and account stage. What is your account stage? Starting from the most simple things like, do you have tier 5? Do you not have tier 5? What is your artifacts? What is your Heroes Awakening? What is your decorations? Do you have city skin? And blah blah blah. Now right now for my decorations I have like 10.4% Legion attack and damage do 1.2%. This is very far away from what one decoration can actually give you. A single decoration can give you 5% attack, 5% defense, and 3% damage do. A single one. So in total it's going to be 25% Legion attack, 25% defense, and 15% damage do, which is a crazy metric. So yeah, if you're basically full decoration, you're basically 1 tier above. So you know, at this stage the everything matters. So if you look same 2 legions fighting and you see one of the legions destroying the other one, again, don't miss the context. Don't miss the context. Don't miss the pet. Don't miss the artifact. Don't miss the decoration. Don't miss the level of the heroes. Are they awakened? Are they not? Even the levels, the pure levels of the heroes. Because right now I want to fight in the Battle of Abyss, but my poor Joran is level 54 and I don't have anything to make him. Okay, right now it's level 55, but you get the idea. Sometimes you may not have your hero even leveled up. But yeah, this is one of the things, and one of the things that the people have to understand, that the bad context create bad reports. A bad report does not always mean a bad hero. Maybe the pairing was wrong, maybe the player stood too close You know, if you're mage and you stand close to some infantry, you're going to receive pretty decent damage right there. Maybe the pet did not support the build. Maybe the enemy countered that march, and it's easy to counter this march. Maybe the fight was on bad terrain. It can be choke points or whatever. I mean, there is just so many conditions, and the best way to actually evaluate everything is to test everything in the most common context you're having when you're in the KVK. That means choke points and pure open fight. So yeah, guys, this is going to be for this video. Thank you very much if you watched this video that far. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit one like. If you have some further questions, just let me know in the comments below. I'm answering all of my questions. Members are with priority. Yeah, if you want to support my channel, you can become a member and get early access to my other videos and other perks. So thank you very much. I wish you a great day and see you in the next video.